Yeah, sure, thank you. Yeah, my name's Fiona Graham. I'm here from Causeway Technologies to look at how we can rationalise the source to pay journey, but more importantly, really reduce the amount of paper that's along that journey and the manual interaction that goes with it. So if I just start the presentation, hopefully, here we go. Yeah, so as I say, my name is Fiona Graham. I'm Solutions Sales Specialist for Causeway Technologies. I've been with the business since February of last year. So with COVID, I've spent most of it locked down in my house, which is, is pretty unusual for me. But I've worked within the construction industry for over 20 years, starting off in plant hire. Then I moved to capital within supplier accreditation at Construction Line. And latterly, I was in the commercial side of British Gas. So I've probably seen the problems from both sides of the fence, which is always quite good just to understand the pain points. Today's presentation, as I said, is all about how firms can remove paper by using technology to seamlessly integrate and transfer data from the earliest part of a project, from the planning phase right through to payment. And I think it's all about how that data moves along that journey. That is key to it, and having the availability of it as soon as possible to be able to see where your spend is or whatever within a project. As I say, it's all about rationalising that source to pay journey. I'll spend some time with you talking through the value that technology can bring to that process. And then I've got a tier one case study of who we've been working with, just looking at how we can rationalise their processes and the bits of paper that we've got, and hopefully make them more efficient. But firstly, let me give you a wee bit background on Causeway themselves. So who are Causeway? Well, we are the largest UK-based construction software company. So we work just within construction. Obviously, construction is a huge market. As you know, it goes from a window cleaner right the way through to HS2 or whoever. So yeah, it's quite a big sector. We are a very well-established firm. We've been in business for over 20 years. And indeed, we are still owned and run by our Chief CEO, Phil Brown, who founded the company back in 1999. So we're definitely here for the long term. We've grown not just organically, but through strategic acquisitions, including Dawnseed, our site and attendance software, which we bought in 2019, and Ermio, a software company in Paris that we have acquired just a couple of months ago. So we have a 300 strong team, and all of us have an industry background, and that will either be like myself from the construction industry or from the tech sector. So the people who are actually developing the solutions have all come from similar backgrounds. So we understand the issues that are there within construction. We understand that construction, just an invoice is slightly different. From plant hire, you've got your on and off hire dates, you've got your excess hours, so that's totally different from like a commodity invoice. We have over 2,500 customers that use one of our software solutions. So these customers range from your tier one contractors, Balfour Beatties, Morgan Sindals, Kier, we just rolled out to, right through to one-man band. So our solutions are fully scalable and span across the whole life cycle of construction project, from design right through to the operation and maintenance of the built asset. So here at Causeway, we offer software to bring your designs to life, software to revolutionise your cost saving, software that streamlines your invoicing processes, and right through to software that supports your site management. This slide, I think whilst it's important to demonstrate to you the scope of our client base. As you can see there, we've got quite a wide array of professionals, contractors, suppliers, and owners there, and clients. I think the importance here is to show that we understand the industry. So we are purely a construction software company. And the shocking thing to me is that construction industry is the second lowest after agriculture. And I think the main thing that's affecting that is the tight margins, which I'll talk about just in a second, that is actually limiting the investment into technology. So we are very much focused on the issues that our clients face and developing solutions to be able to help them with that. So we know that 69% of UK construction projects go over time and over budget. Pre-tax profit margins of the top 100 are just at 1.4%. And in fact, the top 10 construction contractors in 2019 recorded an average pre-tax profit margin of minus 0.1%. So it's really just not sustainable for the sector. So therefore, we listen and we understand work in partnership. I think that's key to Causeway. We do work in partnership with just launching our new EGRN solution, which we've got a steering group for, but we work in partnership with all of our customers through steering groups and user groups to resolve that productivity gap. Ultimately, our strategy within the business is to focus on the front end commercial performance of our clients. So we're not here to replace the SAPs or the Dynamics or whatever. We are here, our solutions complement your existing systems. So we have that integration, as we spoke about earlier in some of the other presentations, so we can integrate with bespoke systems, with just about anything. I think we've done it over the course of the 20 years that we've been running. And our key focus is to make our clients more efficient, more productive, and more importantly, more profitable. Next slide. So as you can see from this, we truly believe that the construction industry is ready for this global transformation. As you see in the slide there, if construction labour productivity can catch up with progress made across 20 years by the other sectors, industry value would increase by $1.6 trillion. So that would boost the global GDP by 2% a year. So our vision is to create this amazing technology to help our customers build a better world, basically. So one of the key areas where we've been helping construction firms is to reduce the amount of paper and manual processes involved in each stage of the procure to pay journey, helping to rationalize the process to reduce costs, but also to maximize value through things like better use of data and enhanced productivity. So you might have somebody sitting rekeying an invoice. They could be better placed doing something which is value add to that business. So it's really just raising that productivity, giving a quicker insight to data so you can use it and better use of that data. That's the key to what we're looking to do through the P2P process. For some companies, that involves reducing number of solutions that quite a lot of companies, and one of which the tier one case study I've got is prime example is they'll have a lot of solutions which are actually doing the same thing, and that then ends up with your data in lots of different silos, lots of different pots about the business. So it's a case of looking at what do you do now and how can we rationalize that. But in most cases, it's probably just involving overcoming the paper problem and that manual intervention. I think that has come to the fore with the pandemic. People have not been able to get into invoices. So from our TradeX solution, which is our e-invoicing solution, if you had that, you wouldn't need to go and collect your invoices from your office. So I think that has really highlighted to a lot of businesses that they need to get rid of paper. So this slide just gives you, we've broken down the source to pay journey there. And as you can see, and I'll run through, there are paper records littered right throughout that full process. So they continue to be used at every stage, at the front end of cost planning and estimating, during the onboarding and vetting of new suppliers. So when you're sending out PQQs, how are they coming back? Are they coming back paper, maybe in an email? However, you might be getting insurances through the post to keep their insurances up to date. Also throughout the purchase to pay stage, the invoicing processing with good receipt notes, which are still in paper, and submission to customers. And even when capturing time and attendance, which we've heard about earlier in today's session, of records on site. So if you actually add that all up, I hate to think how many thousands of bits of paper there are littered along that journey, which can easily be lost and are often illegible. I know if they were looking at my handwriting, it certainly would be illegible. And they're not really providing that real-time actionable insight of what's happening within your business. If you think about it, just how many good receipts notes have actually ended up in a washing machine somewhere over the years. So this continued use of paper is slow, time consuming, and really financially dangerous for the industry. So how can Causeway help? But we're going to take a quick look at how we're working with a well-known tier 1 contractor to rationalise their source to pay journey. This is a case study of a tier 1 contractor. Causeway have been providing them software for a number of years, and like more and more organisations, we're looking to rationalise that right across the source to pay journey, not only to reduce their costs, but also to allow for better use of that data and earlier sight of that data. So I've just used the same graphic from previously with the key parts of the source to pay journey. So our source to pay solutions are designed to seamlessly integrate and transfer data from the earliest planning phase of a project right the way through to payment. And I think that's something that's particularly important when you're looking to digitize any process, is how does that data flow within your business? You might still be working on all these little silos. How does it flow throughout the complete process? So when working with this contractor, we identified 3 key areas that we believe we could transform their processes. These were in the pre-construction and source to contract stage, supplier management, and accounts payable. So firstly, in a review of their pre-construction processes, it highlighted that they did indeed have a number of solutions that were doing the same thing. So to ensure that their pre-construction data was all stored in a central platform rather than dotted about the business, the solution was to implement our Cato cost planning, our BIM measure, and our estimating software. This then created a central repository of all pricing information, which was reducing risk and adding more controls, better reporting, and data surfacing capabilities, because just as we're saying, all of the data was in one place. This has now underpinned their competitive position within the marketplace, so they're able to get the right pricing at the right time from the right client suppliers. So as part of this, we also looked at the source to contract phase. So our solution in Causeway eTender is an eTender solution, which seamlessly integrates with our estimating software. So it's making it easy to create, send, and respond to tenders. Subcontractors can download tenders to price or can price them directly online, adding notes and documents. And it also integrates with our supplier management solution. So that then allows your estimators to be able to select a list of suitable contractors based on whatever criteria that is set that are already pre-approved by yourselves. So that's reducing risk and also enabling the business to control their supply chain size and spend, and to prevent rogue spend within the business. We all know that an estimator, I'm not decrying estimators in any way or shape or form, but we all know that somebody may know somebody down the road and just get a price from them and get them on, and they're not actually an approved supplier. So then we looked at their supplier management system. This was managed via a bespoke in-house system. And as with anything that's bespoke, it comes with a need and development costs to keep it up to date with ever-changing legislation, especially within the pre-qualification of construction suppliers, as we know that it's always changing. They were also keen to adopt the new industry standard question set, the Common Assessment Standard, which has been launched by Build UK. So by implementing Causeway's supplier management portal, our question set, our PQQ, is based around that question set. So they could do just that, but they could also do that and provide a much more robust and cost-effective way to manage their supply chain. Streamlining the onboarding, accreditation, ongoing compliance, and performance management through bespoke workflow, giving full visibility across the business. Our solution, we totally understand that not every business is the same. So our solution is totally, you can bespoke all of the question sets. If you want to hide or show different question sets dependent on risk of a certain supplier, you can do that. So it is totally configurable. The workflow is totally configurable, but who gets approval of what? So it gave them that flexibility, but also it allowed them to use the Common Assessment Standard question set, negating the need to keep on top of that ever-changing legislation. What we could also offer them was integration with all 3 common assessment accreditation providers. So that's Construction Line, CHAS, and Achilles. So that then gave them access to all of the common assessment suppliers on one platform at no additional cost to the supply chain. So they could access all of the ones who are accredited to the common assessment standard level on our platform. We also have the ability to be able to integrate with third parties such as due diligence, if you want to hook up with finance, checking and all the rest of it. So it's going back to what we've heard earlier in today's sessions, is that yes, all of our solutions are interoperable within themselves, but we also have the ability to integrate with third parties. And as previously mentioned, the supplier management allows you to share your approved supply chain data seamlessly with the pre-construction teams. So it's joining up all of these different departments within your business, and then that can flow into our e-tender, giving you better control of your spend. And also it means that you can select the right supplier or subcontractor for every project based upon past performance. Now, what we tend to find is that you may have a company that's split into regions, and they use a certain, I don't know, roofer for a certain region who are very, very good, but another region may not realize that that roofer works in their area as well, and they're not aware of that. So by using our supply chain management, you give that full visibility across your business, and with the added benefit that we can actually hook up to their ERP system too. So finally, and I'm going to get through it this time, Phil, I'm going to get through it. Finally, we looked at their accounts payable process and how Causeway TradeX solution could drive efficiency. So this company were historically processing their invoices manually. So invoices were being manually sent for approval and manually keyed into their ERP solution. They had been looking at other ways of moving forwards, such as OCR solutions. But by looking at TradeX, unlike traditional PDF scanning solutions, our solution offers full invoice automation, or true invoicing, or EDI, or whatever you want to call it. But when it comes down to it, it's straight data to data rather than scanning the information. So that would mean that the accounts payable team no longer need to manage queries or OCR corrections, and that eliminating that need to manually rekey entries. Also, by adopting TradeX, we were able to give them the capability to capture receipts at point of delivery on site and get that cost, instead of it being a good receipt note in somebody's pocket or in a site office, straight into the ERP system, so they could get the cost of that contract within minutes. The TradeX solution then holds that invoice, that good receipt, sorry, until it gets the corresponding invoice, and then it will match it against the purchase order, giving you three-way matching. That then gives you straight through processing, which I think if you speak to any finance person, if they can get three-way matching and straight through processing, happy days, without any need for any paper. So again, we're reducing the paper and the manual intervention, and thus freeing up their accounts payable team to be able to do more value add things for the business. So with this company, we're still actually working very closely with them on their digital journey, but I hope that's given you an insight as to how Causeway can help contractors rationalise their source to pay journey, and most importantly, get rid of some of the paper that's there. Thank you very much.